Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. As you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be installing some front sway bars and rear sway bars. So this is my front sway bar, comes together with two lower control arms, and this is my rear sway bar off an EK4. What I got here is some new bushings to go with it, and brand new end links, adjustable end links. I have the bar all cleaned up as it was greasy and dirty from the previous owner, but it's all cleaned up now, especially the rear sway bar. So what I have here is the rear end links for the rear sway bar. This is the caster kit for the front lower control arm, and these are new bushings for the front lower control arm. And I bought these from Whiteline, and these is Blocks Racing from Elusive Racing. So if you guys want to cop any of these, I can leave the link in the description. So I've got both rear end links out after doing a lot of work. The end links are out, time to put in the new ones. Just like that, I have both sides of adjustable end links on, as you guys can see. So I'm just installing the front caster thingy McBob right now. Just lube it up with the lubricant that came from Whiteline. Just lube it up here, and then you should see it says top, so that should be facing the top obviously. And then you just like stick it in here, and then you're gonna like, I can't do it with one hand, but you're gonna have to hammer it in. So I'm on to installing the rear sway bars now. I got new bolts. Let me show you guys how it lines up. So any EKs will have these factory holes over there, these ones, but some of them just don't come with rear sway bars. Only the EK, well, at least in Australia, only the EK4s and EK9 comes with rear sway bars. So you still have the factory holes, so that's where you bolt it up to the subframe, the rear subframe. And the end links, I see a lot of people buying aftermarket like whole subframe and lower control arm and not doing like a sway bar upgrade. So I'm not going to be buying aftermarket rear lower control arms because there's factory holes on both sides, as you guys can see, that fits a rear sway bar, so you don't have to buy an aftermarket one. So basically everything just fits on and is straight bolt on. You don't gotta do any modification. But some people do get a rear subframe brace, which I definitely recommend as well, but I'm not gonna do one right now. Can't really afford it. So I'll do it properly once I have more budget for subframe brace and lower control arms, but that's it for now. So as you guys can see here, that is where the bolt goes through into that hole, and you just bolt it up from the back, like that, and you just bolt it up. Also, just a tip for you guys, make sure you put the top one in first before you put the bottom bolt in, because that way you can tighten this one first, because only one spanner can reach in there to get the bolt tight. So just get the top one in first before you get the bottom one in. Also a reminder, so you guys like don't make the same mistake as me if you're doing the same thing. You're gonna have to need this bigger part at the bottom and the thinner part at the top. So my mistake was having the thinner part at the bottom and the thicker part at the top, but you need this part at the bottom because this is the part that you can adjust. And if you have it at the top, you can't really like adjust it or something. I don't even know, but I saw it on the internet and I had to remove both the end links and put it back together because I had it wrong. While I'm at it, I'm raising my car up for roadworthy. This is a huge difference from what it was before. From what it was before, there's literally no gap here, just nothing. But I got everything back together, I raised it up. Everything is torqued down to spec. The rear sway bar is on, so time to raise the other side. It's currently the next day. I finished up the rears and just moving forward to the front. So you guys can see I've got the car jacked up, got both wheels out, and this is what I'll be replacing: the front lower control arm and adding a sway bar as well. Thought I'd give you guys an update, but there's a bolt here, a bolt under there with the quarter pin, and a bolt here, and 3 bolts there. Those 3 bolts are 19mm, and this one is 19mm as well. This one's 17, and I think this one was 17 as well. So you loosen all those bolts and it should just come off. So I'm just putting back the other lower control arm. Just get some of the white line lubricant and just smudge it in there, so the new bushing doesn't wear out or something. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Okay, as simple as that. The lower control arm is in. Now it's time to race the car. So I thought I would show you guys the difference between my normal lower control arm with the GLI one. So if you want to mount a front sway bar, you need an eyelet over here on the lower control arm. This is mine, it doesn't have one. So it just doesn't work. So you need to upgrade to a GLI or EK9, EK4, VTI, VTIR, whatever works, as long as it has the eyelet. You also can buy this lower control arm like off the market from Hot Race and stuff, but I just got mine off a GLI. Also thought I'd show you guys where the D bracket goes to. So it goes under the lower control arm, these 2 bolts that are bolted back on for no reason actually. So another update, the sway bar doesn't go here, it goes here. So I removed those 2 bolts for no reasons because I realized they're too big for this hole, I can't lie. Anyways, so they go to this hole. And just like that, with a lot of convincing, the sway bar is finally in, the endings are linked up, and the D bracket is in. And basically what I have to do now is just torque everything down to spec and put my exhaust back. As you guys can see, it's just hanging, because the way I put this in was 2 lower control arms first, and the sway bar came in through this, so you kind of just like slide it into there and it just goes up. Everything's back in right now. The endings, the whole bar is in, everything's torqued down to spec. I raised up the car as well while I'm at it. And time to just throw the wheels back on. Currently the car is sitting a little bit too high as I'm getting the car ready for roadworthy. So it's a large finger gap over here, large finger gap in the back. So for my non-Australian viewers, if you don't know what a roadworthy is, my car has to be inspected, has to be 100mm off the ground. That's the legal height, but just to keep it safe, I raised it up even more. And you basically have to got a stock exhaust, stock interior, everything has to be stock. So that's what I got my car ready for. I also had my alignment done during the weekend, so I got that sorted because I had the lower control arm off and I raised the car up really high, so it kind of messed up my alignment, so I had to get that done. And just a few more things before I can get this car inspected. As you guys can see, I'm currently working on installing my washers windshield washers. I've got the whole set of hoses, things like that. This came off my Honda Accord CL9, so I'm like retrofitting it because I can't find my old ones. It's been like 2 years since I last seen it for my EK, so yeah. The engine bay is still doing good. I think I might need to remove some mods before I head to inspection, but I'm not too sure yet. We'll see after I get it inspected and see what they say, because some people are not allowed to have the intake over here, but mine's covered up with the custom box I made, so it shouldn't be an issue. And I'm on my L plates, so I'm pretty sure you're only like limited to having one mod on your engine if you're on your L's, but I'm not sure. I haven't like read about it or anything, I just heard about it. So I might need to put some stock parts on. Like, I'm pretty sure my cam gear is not stock, so I might need to cover it up instead of removing it. And I'm definitely not replacing my headers, that's a pain in the ass. And the intake should be fine, but I'll see. So thank you for watching today's video. If you liked it, learned something new, just subscribe and like, and I'll see you on my next video.